Steve here from Plants with Steve. Today we're going to be walking out in the woods, making a fire with only things that we can find in nature. And we have a lot of snow to deal with. So let's see how we do. All right, what I'm trying to do now, since we're doing an all natural materials fire here in very deep snow, as you can see, it's over my knees. I want to come in here and I want to find some birch bark and then some dead branches from a fir or a pine, something with a lot of sap. The sap in the softwood pine, spruce, fir makes for a very good combustible material naturally. Combine that with the birch bark and it really goes up easily. And coming up on some birch trees here now. This should be good. Be able to start a good fire with this. Now we're gonna round up some branches, maybe with some old dead needles on them, something that's a little bit drier. A lot of times the material that's in the tree, the foliage up off the ground, even with deep snow, will remain drier because it's underneath the branches that are above it that blocked the snow. So even in situations like this where it may be really difficult to find dry wood to burn, that would be the place to start, is underneath the canopy of an evergreen tree. Like I was saying before, with that high resin content in the sap, this should be able to go up pretty easily. Look at this view. It's been very cold and snowy here in New England, so this has been the most snow and the most cold that I can remember in quite some time. It's definitely a unique landscape in the winter. Beautiful every season, but especially beautiful with the snowfall. So I'm going to clear off an area here, see if we can get the fire started. We are next to a river that is usually flowing during the summer months. It's really deep and slow moving, probably great brook fishing, which I'm probably going to come and revisit in another video. But this is kind of a trial to see about doing a camp out here. So I'm going to see how the conditions are, where the wind is coming in, and kind of see how I know I'm sloping down, so I'm not going to want to do it when it's raining because I don't want my campsite to get wet. But in dry conditions, this might be a good spot to try tenting. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm building up a base layer so we can make the fire on top of it without it getting wet right away. This wood will help lift the new fire. It'll get air to the bottom of the fire and it'll keep it up elevated and from melting the snow right away. So these branches here I'm trying to harvest from these dead pine trees have needles still on them. That's going to help ignite with the fire that I'm building. Okay, so not always easy to start a fire in the snow, but as you can see, if you go through the steps, make an area to have some dry conditions for your fire to start. Obviously you don't want to catch on fire. The sticks I was using are high in resin. The materials that I used secondarily are pine branches, which all have a really good combustible quality. As you can see, it goes up pretty quickly. We do have a natural breeze here. It is very, very cold. This is great. I'm not worried about anything in the surrounding catching on fire due to our snow conditions. Everything is frozen. It'll be easy to put out the fire once we're done. But this would be a great location, I think, to have a campfire. And I want to do a camp out here. This heat definitely feels nice coming off the fire. With the wind chill today, they were saying it was about -30, so that's Fahrenheit for anyone in Canada. So it's really cold. The snow is very fluffy. It's got very little moisture content right now because of how dry everything is. So walking through it without snowshoes Not the best if you're going to do long distance, but since I'm not too far out off of a trail, luckily someone had beaten it down already with some snowshoes. I was able to walk out here with relative ease. There was not a lot of resistance with the fluffy snow. It is really hard to beat this view. All I'm missing are hot dogs. Stay tuned for our next video out here, because next time I'm definitely going to do some campfire cooking. Maybe comment below and let me know what you'd like me to cook. Right now I'm kind of leaning towards maybe some beans and hot dogs. Relatively easy. But if you guys have any ideas, I'd be more than happy to try them out. All right guys, it's getting late. I'm going to put the fire out. I'm going to kick a bunch of snow on it and move the branches around. I want to start walking out of the woods and get back in time for the Super Bowl. Go Patriots!